y'all ready? All right, we will go ahead and call this Amherst County Service Authority meeting. This is the call to order. Let the record reflect it is March 3rd, 2026, and the time is 1:30 p.m. Our first order of business is the approval of the agenda. Are there any additions, deletions, or anything that needs to be changed?
No, sir.
All right.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the agenda as presented.
There's a motion on the floor by Mr. Campbell. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have citizen comments. If there's anyone in the audience that wishes to
Yes,
be.
Mr. Chairman, Ms. Shirley Collins of the Coolwell area, residing at 160 Crabapple Lane, would like to come and speak to the board about possibly extending water service to her area.
All right, if you would. Can you come up here to the mic, please?
I'm interested in having water services extended from the top of Coolwell Road, Stage Road, down to Crabapple. There are houses there. We all have old pumps, wells. I know every 2 to 3 years, I have to get extra, buy the extra so that it can cover me for the pumps going out. It's a lot of rock and sand, but I can't say that I can get 3 to 4 people. I know I have 2 houses, and those 2 will hook up to it. So, and possibly once my well comes, because I shared with my brother, he could possibly going to be the 3rd, because unless he fix it, that's the only way it's going to be fixed. Because I'm interested in having county water.
Okay.
And because I have a house, so it's 8 of us in a house. I have foster children I've adopted from 1 to 14. And it's hard on a well, very hard. By the time you give all baths, 4 or 5 loads of clothes,
Yeah.
you know, it's.
Mr. Castillo?
Yes, early in February, Ms. Collins gave me a phone call, and we talked about the possibilities. And I pulled up our policy of our 50/50, and I put together a budget for this. And basically, with the authority staff doing it, very similar to what we did at Bar Cliff, for the normal connection fees, three customers signing up ahead of time will make this project work. And I will be bringing it to the board. I was waiting for Ms. Collins to say, hey, I've got 2 or 3 or whatever the number is. And so now I know there's 2. I'll work with her to see if we can at least get a 3rd, if not more, because the more the better. And be bringing it probably to the next board meeting to get authorization to move forward with this project in the future.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming today. Hopefully, we can get some more individuals that are interested in the neighborhood to sign up and, you know, get this thing going for you all.
So if I don't get the 3,
Well, you gotta get
I will help you try to get 3.
yeah, the more the merrier, though, that, you know, it makes it more beneficial for.
If indeed, Ms. Collins, if we can't get the 3, then the cost for year 2 would increase to meet our procedures. I'm trying to do this within our normal system development fee and our normal connection fee.
And you'll be bringing that to the board next?
I hope once we get the numbers all together, hopefully in the March meeting.
Okay.
I'm sorry, in the April meeting, I apologize.
Tim,
All right,
where is
lost track of time.
Crabapple?
Crabapple is off stage, out in Coolwell area,
It's off a stage?
yes.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
So I've been working together on the budget for this, and just, we'll see if we can move this project forward to meet the needs of our citizens.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Castillo. Thank you for coming out and bringing this to us. We will certainly be looking this at the near future, and Mr. Castillo, like you said, will bring this to us, and we'll have a better look at it. So thank you.
I definitely will have an update as to where we are at the next meeting.
Okay. All right, anybody else in the audience? All right, seeing none, we'll go ahead and close the citizen comments and move on to our employee recognition 2026. Mr. Castillo?
Yes, in the past, I've brought to you the trials that our industry has in getting licensed operators. I worked with a couple committees in the industry, working with DPOR, which is the licensing board, and they have taken some steps to modify the resources needed to study for what the test is based on. It's now just a couple of standard pieces of material. And we've had one of our team members be successful, which is a great thing. Joe Graybill on February 11th took his exam for wastewater operator class 4 and passed. I just wanted to bring that to the board's attention because that is, makes him more valuable to us and continues the growth of our team.
Well, tell Mr. Graybill we send him a congratulations from this board, and it certainly helps your crew and everyone else to have more people that are well-trained. So we appreciate his work and dedication.
I will share that with him.
All right, next we have the consent agenda. We have the draft minutes from February 3rd and the financial report. Are there any questions for Mr. Costello regarding the financial report or the draft?
Mr. Chairman, if I could just point out, through teamwork, we're able to get our expense reports now from RDA. Then our team puts together the revenue reports that get sent to the county finance department, and they're working on getting those into RDA, as best I understand it. But rather than waiting for RDA to spit everything out, been able to put together an income statement using the end of January month end, and that is attached here. That's the first time this fiscal year we've been able to do that, to know where we are. But there are some holes in this. Our salary and wages in a number of different categories are either blank or a lot less than they should be. And a good portion of that is sitting in the payroll clearing account. So at least it's there as an expense. There's other expenses. I know that we have paid principal and interest on a number of our bond issues, and I could not find where they had been recorded yet, but I know they are there. So we will continue making this a more accurate, but I needed to get this far so I could work on the financial master plan with its dashboard, as well as the upcoming budget, which will be, the initial presentation of it will be at the April meeting.
All right, well, that's progress in the right direction. And are there any other concerns from the board? All right, if not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Motion on the floor by Mr. Campbell. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, Mr. Costello, we got the Gateway and the ARPA funds.
Yes, things have been moving quite a bit on this front. Included in your package, I went to, and actually, Tracy was able to dig in and get the actual previous report, which was of April 25, to see exactly how the county accepted those ARPA funds. And I've included in here an excerpt from that report, which shows that the jurisdiction elected to use the standard allowance of up to 10 million, not to exceed your total award allocation, and that box was checked as a yes. And that allows the county to not have to meet the December 2026 deadlines for expending of funds. I've sent that information to Mr. Popovich and to our bond counsel. Our bond counsel deferred to Mr. Popovich, who's had a number of conversations with Mr. Taylor, our financial consultant advisor, and I'm going to let him speak to it, if you would, please.
Mr. Popovich?
Yes, I had opportunity to speak with Mr. Taylor on this point. The crux of the matter is that as soon as the county accepted that standard deduction or standard amount, it was effectively expended immediately because it was immediately taken from the federal government and dropped into the budget. So there is no deadline to worry about now in terms of expending it. We have it. It's ours to keep and to use as we see fit. So if we need to get past the December 31st, 2026 deadline that ARPA requires all monies to be expended in other instances, we can still do that.
All right?
So Tracy's locating this information really assists us in determining which directions to go. It takes away the time constraints that we're facing. I also did include from the June 11th regular meeting where our project number 3 was approved. And I will apologize, I missed one thing here where Mr. Martin, you had put an amendment to it to ACSA work would become ACSA construction to allow for continuance of engineering. I just took work as work. So we have not moved forward with any further designs since that point in time. Just being transparent with everything. So I had brought to you guys at the previous meeting a couple options. And then the third option, because one of the things we have done since the project started was the county was able to obtain $500,000 of SEID grant to go towards this project. And of which $100,000 of the ARPA funds has been pledged to be spent towards this project to be the match. There wouldn't be any additional county taxpayer dollars coming out to receive this grant and move this project forward. My recommendation was to continue with the engineering part up to the $100,000 so we could take care of that within the time frame, but that's now a moot point. So my recommendation for this is to continue with the project, no construction work being done until Mr. Morcom comes before the Board of Supervisors with his revised site plan and ready to make things happen. That way we can honor the agreement or the intent of what all has been done since the project had begun, without any penalties to the community. We continue to move the project forward. Later I report that the project number 3 is complete, other than paying the retainage, which will come in our next pay request. And there will be a change order on this project of over $52,000 for cost savings that can be applied to other portions of the project. The work that was done for the actual interconnection to our existing main sewer collection mains was much more cost-effective than what was originally designed.
All right, so Mr. Costello, I remember the question, I guess Mr. Martin had brought up regarding, the timeline. So you are saying now that the timeline, there no longer is that timeline?
There is no longer the timeline for any ARPA funds to be expended because the county had accepted them as revenue replacement.
Okay. And your recommendation is option 3. Can we
Well,
ju-
actually, my recommendation is to continue with because of that, when I put this together, I did not know what Mr. Popovich was going to learn through his analysis. And as he has now stated that time limitation is no longer in effect, just to continue the project at the pace it has been going. Not spending any long-term loan funds, not obtaining any more long-term loan funds for it at all until we get to that point where we know what we're truly going to need. My goal is to complete this project utilizing the remaining ARPA funds, a little over $500,000, particularly now that I've got another $50,000 to apply to the project, and the SCID $500,000.
But that would be determined as to when the project actually
But
starts to move,
yes. maybe
as far as other than the engineering.
Other than we can start working on the engineering, but really till Mr. Morcom gets his site plan truly formalized, we don't need to be putting design work into something that's gonna be designed in the way of whatever his site is gonna change. So that's one reason I've not pushed it to do any design work. Plus, I truly had thought stop work, period.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, am I hearing you correctly, though? You want to proceed with design work?
When I feel comfortable that we're not gonna have to redesign it, correct. And I wanna make sure that this site plan allows for us, because I do recall this, to get the easements that we need to take care of the Marymore and the other areas out there as well.
All right, so just so I can get this straight, because this has been going on for several years. So there was $1 million in ARPA funds,
Correct,
all right, which there's no time limitation on anymore,
correct,
all right? You got a $500,000 grant.
correct.
Was that a match, though?
Tw-
Was there a match to that grant?
There's a match to that grant, $100,000. And it was agreed by the SCID program that the ARPA funds could be applied as that match.
Okay, so we got 1.5 million,
Correct.
and we went out and borrowed, what, 2 million?
2.5.
2.5. And the project cost now is what?
I'm anticipating it coming in at around $1.5 million.
At what we have?
One of the original project budget, because of the time when it started off as $8 million, if you may recall. We brought it down to 3.8 by redesigning it. And part of that 3.8 was a 50% contingency, which was well over $1 million.
So that 2.5 million that we borrowed, we're gonna turn that back in?
It's been turned in,
Done.
done,
Good.
gone.
So it's not costing
Gone.
us anymore?
Nope.
Right, okay. So, is there a time stipulation on the grant?
There is a time, on the ARPA grant, no, on the SCID grant is a 2-year.
2 years?
And there's allotment in their rules for 2 1-year extensions.
What can that be used for?
It can be used, it was applied for
It can be used for design?
it can be used for design, it can be used for, construction, whatever we need, whatever the project needs are.
So my suggestion would be to use that money first. If there's no stipulations on the 1 million.
There is no, that part is correct. There's no stipulations on that. Somewhere in there, I will need to expend $100,000 to show the match.
Okay, fair enough. So
So-
900,000, there'd be no stipulation on it.
Correct.
So, but as of right now, I mean, until you actually get, the final drawings or the building permit per se, I mean, there's no need to do a whole lot on this project. Is that correct?
That's correct. And we have 2 years to do, actually 4 years. 4 years.
2-year extension.
With 2 1-year extensions. We've already explained to the program manager that this is hinging on a developer moving things at certain states. And it was supposed to have already been moved, but it hasn't been moved. And so that's when they told us there's the 2 1-year extensions.
So, I'm sorry,
Go
Mr.
ahead,
Chairman, what I recall was we said, okay, once he's ready for final site plan approval and this and that, he's to that point, then
Can move forward.
we'd move forward.
That's correct. And I'm not changing that at all.
Okay.
The
Because
bill-
I mean, I hear you saying we want to proceed with design, right?
Once I know what the site's gonna look like.
And what I heard us saying is we proceed with spending additional money once he got to a certain point.
Correct.
Is that right?
It was I could, according to the minutes, I could do design work. I cannot do any construction work.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess what you don't want to do is do design work that has to be changed
It has to be
over and over
redesigned.
and over again
That's
because the plans change.
That is very correct.
And, all right,
Tim, can I ask real quick?
Sure.
Where you were just talking about the, I guess, $1.5 million, the budget that is in here is like $500,000 of what I was looking at.
The,
I guess was
what-
that the
what has-
million and,
What has been spent of that is programmed to be spent was $427,000.
Okay.
With our current engineering costs of $76,000 and $350,000 of construction. Well, 50,000 is gonna come back to the
Yeah.
budget with our cost savings.
okay,
So that left me with 572,000 plus the additional $500,000 of SEID grant to move, to work on this project, once we get it to a point where everyone knows what's happening. And and the developer is ready to move forward with his site plan, bringing it to the Board of Supervisors for their reapproval, and that's a solid project at that point.
all right.
Is that clear, Mr. Martin?
Yeah, so I guess where I'm still at is, we set aside this funding. I still back that, provided he moves forward. What I don't want to see is us to go out, design and install this infrastructure in the ground, and then he doesn't move forward with his project, and we could have used that funding elsewhere because we have other needs. That's where I'm at.
I understand that.
That's just me. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 more of you sitting down there.
Oh, I agree with you as well. The other thing I had, the, interest or the money that was spent previously by the board to cover the payment, now that has gone away. Is that,
I'll get to that in my finance master plan. Currently, on the 2023 Gateway, and this is in my information for the board, what has been spent by the Board of Supervisors in interest is $229,402.78. What's anticipated, and I say anticipated because we have an arbitrage liability that's being calculated for us. I estimated that is $80,000. That gives a remaining balance of $184,000 that will be returned to the Board of Supervisors General Fund once we get our arbitrage number and it's paid off 60 days. Well, I'm actually going to do it 50 days because I don't want to be late to the IRS. 50 days after we closed, after the bonds were deemed as paid off, which was the 23rd of February.
anybody else have a question
So
regarding?
it's a net total cost to the Board of Supervisors for for this project of approximately $45,000.
All right. So now we have to agree on, to formulate a new motion for this?
I think, honestly, if we just give me a directive to follow the directions I have been given, I'm fine with this. Moving it forward. We're not moving any construction forward until Mr. Morcom comes up with his site plan. And if it doesn't, and it looks like it's never gonna happen, then we can look at taking care of other needs.
All right. Any questions, board? Tom, would you like to make that motion? You pretty much laid it out.
Well, I mean, I thought we already had the motion.
Yeah, just Directive
So
from
the
the board is to
direction
continue on.
is, the direction is to proceed with design once he has submitted a site plan
Correct.
that you know is not gonna change, so to me, that would be approved,
Correct.
and then you can proceed with design work.
Correct.
And then, once he pulls the building permits, we would consider building the infrastructure.
Correct.
Is that clear enough for everybody?
Yeah, I mean, so do you want that as a motion or
I have directions.
a directed? Okay, all right, does everybody agree with that? All right. Are there any further questions? All right.
Well, yeah, it is. Can we get the $45,000 back from the ARPA funds that we wasted borrowing $2.5 million?
I don't know. It comes against the project.
Just asking.
I understand.
Okay.
All right, well, thank you, Mr. Castillo. That's actually some good news, out of this, that we don't have that deadline to worry about now, so.
Yeah, and Mr. Taylor, Mr. Taylor brought this information for me. He and I researched it. He sent me all of the various regulations for it. I'm glad I'm not an attorney to have to read that kind of stuff every day. And so I appreciate Mark's reviewing it and concurring that we actually understood what we were talking about.
All right, well, thank you. All right, next, we have another issue that has plagued us for this is for the Seminole Sanitary Sewer Extension Engineering. Mr. Castillo?
Yes, this was brought to the board with an engineering design proposal back in August of 2025. And it was tabled with direction to myself to reach out to the owner and try to establish a partnership. Well, I've been able to do that for the design work, where we're going 50/50 on this. So the cost to the authority, and it will be paid using the other ARPA sewer extension funds, the $20,300. And Seminole Properties will be contributing the other $20,300 to move this forward, so we can at least get this project to a shovel-ready status. And then we can go after other funds to move this forward and get this issue resolved.
Yes, it's a long-standing issue that's been around for, I don't know how many years, but
Long time.
a long time.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
Mr. Castillo, with something like this, how does it normally work? Do we wait to the owner brings their money before you hire this?
The authority enters into the contract for the $40,600, and I have dedication, I have a correspondence where the partner says they will pay $23,000 or $20,300. So as we get invoiced, I will be invoicing him 50% of whatever invoices we're paying, so he can reimburse us.
And if he doesn't pay?
Then we put a lien on the property.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're welcome.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
So is this being designed for us to take over the facility? Or
Once it's constructed to our standards, we would take it into our system as an asset
Okay,
for us to maintain and operate the way it should be.
got it.
That would include anything on that property,
Correct.
but nothing in the buildings, correct?
Correct. It would be as a normal sewer gravity main. The actual service taps would be
The service attachment to that drain would
That
be
is the
theirs.
property owners.
Yeah, okay. Mr. Para?
So you're, thanks. Number one, my apologies for being late. I had my head so deep into something, I never even realized what time it was. So when you say that, to Mr. Hughes' question, there'll be a standard clean out the attachment point, and that will be the demarcation line between the service authorities and
Correct.
the private side.
Yep, that is correct.
Okay, will that be at the property line, or you anticipate going beyond the property line closer to the buildings?
There will need to be
So there'll need to be an easement.
an easement, and it will be at the easement line.
Perfect. Okay. Do you want to make the motion?
Yeah, that's,
So where you're talking about the easement line, the Berkeley and Howell, like drawing down here that's attached, is that essentially what we're talking about designing?
Yes.
That overlay?
Yes,
So were y'all talking about easements? I mean, one thing I've seen in the past is not having easements to property owners. Is that what we're discussing, making sure is in there?
Yes, make sure that
Okay.
this,
So every touching property owner will have an easement to it?
that the authority will have a utility easement to be able to operate and maintain this asset.
No, I'm talking about like, to me, having easements for the existing property owners going to the property line. That's what I'm asking. It's like, let's just say, for example, the, neighboring property, if they want to connect into that sewer line, that we have the option as a service authority to allow them to.
Yes, where that green line is showing on the
Yep.
drawing here, that there will be a 10-foot easement on
Yeah.
each side of that line.
Yeah, I'm just saying, making sure it's close enough to the property
Oh, yeah.
line where it overpasses or touches the property line.
Yes, we will be following that gravity line and
Okay.
making sure that we can serve the other properties.
Okay. Yeah, I just bring it up because I know I've ran into it several times at past easements that the service authority had. It'd be 5 feet from a property line, and then if you're the neighboring property owner, you can't touch it unless you get an easement from that owner. So if we're doing it, I'm just making sure the easements are in place while we're doing it.
Understood.
Okay.
all right, any further questions? I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that the ACSA Board authorize the Executive Director to accept the proposal from Hurt Profit Incorporated for engineering design for the Seminole Sanitary Sewer Replacement, partnering 50% with the Seminole Properties LLC, and the authority costs will be funded by ARPA grant funding provided by the Amherst Board of Supervisors for sanitary sewer extensions.
All right, any further discussion? If not, there's a motion on the floor by Mr. Para. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, next we have health insurance, which is always a lovely discussion.
Well, I try to learn from my mistakes. Last year, this came to the board at the 12th hour. I'm trying to do it ahead of time as we get into our budgetary process. I'm pleased to be able to report that we have an increase, but that our increase is only 7%, which is a nominal in this industry, is a nominal increase. And that's with with the local choice program that the authority has been with for many years. Where I'm proposing changes is to mirror what the County Board of Supervisors had been offering, which is the Key Advantage 1000 and the high deductible health plan, rather than just one choice. Our team will have two different choices. And what I'm also proposing to do is to change the percentages of what the authority contributes to each of these programs. Currently, the authority contributes to the minimum of 80% for a single coverage employee, 20. And the minimum's actually more than minimum, but 65-35 for the dual program and the family programs. I'm proposing that with the Key Advantage 1000 to have the authority contribute 90% of the premium, and the employee contributes 10% of the individual. 80% of the dual and family programs, 80% would be contributed by the authority, 20% by the employee. And if the employee chooses to go with the high deductible health plan, we would pay 100% of the insurance premium for individuals, 90-10 for the other two programs, and we would contribute $2,000 to go toward their HSA account. Even in doing all of that, I can show where the authority will be saving funds on what we're contributing. And more importantly, our staff will be seeing savings. Because what has concerned me, I brought up last year, for an entry-level employee coming in with a family or a dual program, there's not a whole lot left after taxes and insurance to pay for housing and groceries. This is not a sustainable program the way we have it. Try to make some changes so we have something that is sustainable for the authority and for our team members. So,
All right, so I'm guessing that these two different plans are lower premiums,
very much lower premium.
and therefore you would pay more of the premium and they would pay less, but in the end, you're either level or lower as far as your total cost.
Correct. That is correct.
So-
And we can afford to make that $2,000 contribution to the HSAs with the savings as well.
Mr. Castillo, you made an interesting comment earlier on about having the options that the county had available. How does the plan that you're proposing compare to the county's current plan? Is it about equivalent, or does the county have a richer plan, or where?
They are the same plans.
Right, but as far as, do we know as far as the county's contribution to their employees? I'm trying to figure out if we should think about parity or not.
They're discussing that now, my understanding. Matter of fact, their increase was 14%, what I've been told, what's been shared with me, and they're trying to determine how much they can afford within their funds to absorb that 14% and what the employees are gonna have to absorb.
I think it'd be a nice goal over time to try to figure out how to be in parity with the county. So we're not competing with each other on benefits, and maybe in the future, there could be some synergies derived from combining the plans. So just kind of thinking out loud there, but I think that'd be a worthwhile goal to work towards. As far as what you described,
And all these numbers are in the spreadsheet that's attached to your program, to your information
right,
packet.
as far as what you described, I mean, it sounds like it could work for me. It sounds like it's a win-win. Sometimes I get a little skeptical of win-wins just to make sure that it is truly, but, so I'm gonna look into it a little further. But on the surface, it sounds pretty good. I'll defer to others.
So, yeah, that's some good points that you made, as far as parity with the county if we're providing extra on the insurance versus what you just made. So are you saying we should maybe defer a decision for a little while on this, or?
What's the timeframe?
Well, we have open enrollment in May. That's why I'm trying to get ahead of it this time. Go ahead, please. Richard is really delved into this. I've put the numbers together, but that's about it.
I did want to, sorry. I did want to share with the board that, just learning how to turn the mic on. Okay. That we have been working with Ms. Caitlin Jack to understand what the board offered to the county, because we heard that loud and clear at the board meeting last year at this time. And so the numbers that Tim is proposing are quite a bit closer to being in line with what was offered last year to the county, as I understand it. Okay, so that's the first point I want to make. The second thing, the county did divide the dual and the, our plan has a single, dual, and family. The county divided the dual into two different categories. One would be, let's see, how did they do it? It was single,
And spouse.
a spouse plus, single plus spouse, and then the other was single plus dependent, thank you. Because there's so many more situations now where we have single plus a dependent, so it was 4 different options out there. But what we're offering is a little more, very close to being comparable what was offered by the county last year. I hope that helps. And there was
Yes, Mayor.
there was one other question that they had asked, and I wanted to put,
Go for it.
What was it regarding, some of these were 80/20 I mean, not 80/20, but employer 80.
yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Chair, that was precisely what we did, is we tried to use what the county was doing for their single coverages versus the dual in the family. And so we're really close to aligning with what what they had offered last year, as I understand it. I hope this helps, because that's what we were trying to achieve, is exactly what you said, Mr. Perro, is that we're trying to align ourselves closer, but sometimes we would love to be able to do better.
All right, so it sounds to me like this is an iterative process, where maybe previously our the authority's healthcare plan was not as robust as the county's is, and we're taking steps to get it to be that way.
Our actually program was the top level. It's a Cadillac of health insurance. Where we were falling behind with the county is in our premium costs to the employees. So we're trying to address that.
So we had a Cadillac plan that
Had a
pushed our
Cadillac-
employees down so they had no more disposable income out of their paycheck.
That's exactly right. They had the Cadillac payment.
Yeah.
And Mr. Chair, the other point you were talking about deferring this decision. This year, we're trying to roll it out as quickly as possible to help our employees understand the differences in the coverage from what we've had in the past. That was a big concern that our employees had, that they didn't quite understand the changes.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm hoping to be able to roll that out as quickly as possible, get as much training and awareness as possible before we get to open enrollment.
Understood. Yeah, I don't know if we've ever had a conversation about what the employee contribution percentage is on the Board of Supervisors. You know, that's kind of a new item for me as far as offering the new plans and, you know, the high deductible. I mean, I don't see any problem, but I don't think we've ever received any type of information from the county. The county brings us a cost, you know, and then we just go from there.
I remember us talking about it last budget year.
But I don't, yeah, we talked about it, but I don't remember.
But okay, so you say the Service Authority has a Cadillac plan with the Cadillac cost.
Correct.
Yet, does a county employee have a Cadillac plan?
No.
No. So to me, I mean, obviously you've got a better plan and you're paying for it, right?
That is correct.
So you're trying to offset the cost more with Service Authority funds for the employee, but we're not necessarily doing the same thing for the county employee. So it's not equal at all, to me. If you're getting a better insurance, yeah, that's why you're paying more for it.
Correct.
If I could add,
Go ahead.
yes, sir. Key Advantage 1,000 and high deductible was what the county offered their employees last year. So we went to the same plan from the Cadillac.
Which,
But we're,
on this list, which one was the Cadillac plan?
Key Advantage expanded.
Is that being discontinued or?
No, we could choose that. We could choose that.
No, Are you choosing not to offer that
I'm
plan?
choosing not to offer that this year, this coming year. I'm choosing to mirror what the county offered, which was the Key Advantage 1,000 and the high deductible.
The two that are shaded on the
The two
spreadsheet?
shaded ones. And I'm also trying to mirror what the county has done for their employees as far as the percentages of contribution and that.
Okay.
The problem I'm trying to address is the Key Advantage expanded, $1,089.80 per month premium that comes from the employee. That's the problem I'm trying to address. The only way to address that is either the authority contributes significantly more and our costs go up significantly more, or go to these lower plans where the authority is saving a little bit of money and the employee is saving considerable amount of money.
like to see side by side what the county does, what their plans are with what the service authorities.
Okay, and that,
Compare
and that's
apples.
what I have put together is mirroring what the county is doing. What I'm trying to do also is show the difference from what we're currently doing.
Tim, you can only offer 2 plans, correct?
In a small system like our membership, we can only offer 2.
Okay, and you mentioned something about a HSA, but neither one of these, or is that the high deductible health plan?
That's
a
high deductible health plan.
Okay, so
Has-
there's
has
2
a-
options. There's one HSA and one regular, essentially is what
Yes.
we're talking about here.
Oh, It's just been brought to me, and I thought
Yes.
that we had received information from Local Choice that we need to make them aware of what 2 plans we're going to be selecting by April 1st.
All right, well,
I'm sorry, I was not aware of that.
Can we go ahead and offer, go ahead today and say you can offer the Advantage 1000 and the TLC high deductible plan, but if the board is not ready to, they want to see the contribution percentages and look at those versus the county contribution percentages, I'm fine with that. Or,
Make one more statement. One of the issues that I've heard since I've been here is there's been times when the county employees receive one thing and the authority employees don't receive something, vice versa, because we are 2 separate
Entities.
organizations.
Yep.
Particularly when the one that sticks in folks' craw is the ARPA funds that were given as a bonus several years ago, that the county employees all received, but authority employees did not.
What?
And before my time, and before a number of your board. So what I'm trying to do is just put together what I feel is a fair plan for our employees as well as for the authority.
yeah, I agree.
That's the intent. If you want to, we can look at the percentages. I know that from what Richard had shared with me, Jack is going through a number of different options right now, trying to get the best product they can for county employees.
Well, here's the way I look at it also, Mr. Castillo, your budget is through the ratepayers.
That is through our rate.
You know, they're not through the taxpayers of the county. So,
That is correct.
that doesn't mean everything needs to align because the money that you have is coming out of the ratepayers' pockets. So, board, what's your pleasure? How would you all like to proceed? Let's get a consensus on this.
I like your suggestion of going forward with the 2 plans. I think that helps them make the decision. I'd be very interested in seeing how the 2 compares, but I don't have a shake in. I think it's a goal, or I like that idea of parity. Just in other organizations, you try to get the police and the fire departments lined up because they do similar work. It'd be nice if county employees and ACSA employees had something very similar. So there wasn't competition maybe or any sort of sense of jealousy. But I certainly think we can go with, select the plans today.
Any other discussions? All right. Yeah, I agree. Technically, I could support the whole thing because, you've looked at it. And of course, we could see the numbers and see how they really line up, but I could support the whole thing. The way I look at it, the ratepayers pay this and we're not taxing people through property tax. So I think it's a little bit apples to oranges somewhat. And the jobs you do are highly different than what most of the county staff does. You're providing water and sewer to the populace. But anyway, I'll take that unless there's any other discussion. I'll make the motion that Turner said, and then I guess next month.
I'm okay with what's presented because honestly, how much should we be digging into the bottom penny of this. At some point, you have to rely on recommendations to the board. I thought it may be beneficial more for the supervisors to understand, but if it's not, I'm fine with approving it as is, especially given the timing.
Mr. Campbell?
I concur.
I'm good with the two plans.
And what about the last part of it, the proposed change to employee contribution percentage and the ASAP contribution? Because,
They're the ones looking at the
Yeah.
numbers of it, I mean.
Yeah.
I'd move with their recommendation.
all right, well, I'm gonna make a motion whether it fails or not, we'll go. I make a motion that the ACSA Board authorize the Executive Director to make the proposed changes offering TLC Key Advantage 1000 and the TLC High Deductible Health Plans with the proposed change to the employee contribution percentage and the HSA contribution. There's a motion on the floor. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Board.
All right, next we have your informational report, Mr. Costello.
Okey-dokey. Moving down through, only real major change on our infrastructure master plan is that I did meet with the Virginia Department of Health Office of Drinking Water Finance Division Director to see how to strengthen our financial funding applications in the future, particularly in light of the diminishing federal funds coming to Virginia that they have to work with. I learned, we went through their scoring program, so I can address things to that to get us the most positive scores. Their main focus is public health issues, contaminants, boil water notices, excessive leakage, possible cross contaminations, that sort of thing. And then scoring on this, there's a secondary scoring system for their disadvantaged communities. They didn't have all the appropriate information in my last application. They had some of it, but they chose to use their own. So I'll have to really emphasize where we are with that. It was a very positive meeting, informational meeting. So I feel like next application for funding will be much stronger.
If I can make a comment, this is just frustrating to me as somebody that's in the business, but the better you run your system, the less chance of funding you're gonna get. If you mess up your system, you're gonna get money. And so it puts,
I didn't say it that way.
well, and I just appreciate you all running a tight system and doing well, not having the sanitary sewer overflows, not having excessive leaks. Unfortunately, that means that it's harder for us to get money. But thank you. With whom were you speaking? That's all right.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
He's out of the Lexington office.
Okay, thanks.
But that, anyways, continuing to work towards getting us additional funding so it doesn't have to go totally on our ratepayers. Under the financial master planning and budget, I'm making, now that I have an income statement, I can move forward much easier with getting our upcoming budget, as well as getting data from the past year so we can use it for forecasting for future years. Putting that together. The key thing I want to note to you is that the 2023A and the 2023B short-term bond anticipation notes were paid off on February 23rd. So, done, over with. The only thing we're waiting is for Bingham Arbitrage Rebate Services to calculate the liability from arbitrage and then make that payment. And we have 60 days from the 23rd of February to make that payment. I'm going to make it at 50. The remaining funds after payoff for the 2023A was over $900,000. For Gateway was $263,000. Those two funds are still remaining in our LGIP investment pool, earning 3.8% currently. So as they continue to earn over those 50 days, I'm applying that additional $6,000 and split appropriately to each of the loans, which reduces the ultimate liability.
I have a question. So is that tax-free, like the 3.8%?
That is, yes, that is. The arbitrage, Bingham arbitrage, that's one reason we pulled our funds prior to the end of January. So, for two reasons. One, whatever we earn on them from that point forward is tax-free.
So there's no like 1099?
No.
Okay.
Correct. But also so that at the end of January, they would have a clean zero balance on the SNAP account statements for them to be able to do their calculations, which they are doing this month for us. So anyways, I'm working on, this month, I will have, I'm working on getting the actual budget put together for you to have your first presentation in April, along with the dashboard, so you can see if we adjust the rates X or Y, or move our different long-term expenses out to out years, the impacts on our cash balance, as well as to our ratepayers. Sent out to VACOR information they required to give us a liability property workers' comp quote, and that is who the authority has used for years. I've also asked VRSA, which is the former Virginia Municipal League Insurance Program. They have a very competitive program as well. Just get a quote from them for insurance services. One of the things when I've utilized the VRSA program, they have some grant programs within their membership for safety equipment, for leadership training, and other things that we can take advantage of, provided that the actual costs are compared to the VACOR. Then the annual audit just is hanging for 25 years, hanging out until the finance department completes their work to be able to bring in the auditors. On our VWP, the latest date I've seen on the PEAP program is August 4th for us to have a permit. The Gateway project, we dealt with the funding part of it, but I did want to report that the field design changes that we made will result in a contract change order of approximately $52,000 for cost savings. And I've heard that Mr. Morcom is very close to having his site plan done, so who knows where that is. Continue to work on fire protection issues. I received the model data, and I'm now mirroring it with our own existing data to see where things are in different directions. We will be starting our unidirectional flushing program since the weather is going away from the freezing, and we're going to be partnering with the emergency services to work with them on the fire hydrants themselves and coding the hydrants so that when they arrive at the scene, they'll know what water flows they should be expecting. And then looking at our GIS system, some of the hydrants are not anywhere near where they truly physically reside. So we're going to be working through the summer with a Liberty University intern. We'll go out with our locating device that was provided to us from the health department loan for lead and copper, and to actually get GIS data for where all of our hydrants physically locate, and get that on the layer where our valves are located, and also where our sewer manholes are, so we can have a clean layers of data and improve on that. And I'll also have requested an engineering proposal to bridge that 12-inch water line gap that resides on Route 210. The James River Stabilization Project was moving along really well until January, end of January hit in February. They were back on the scene this week. They're anticipating, without a lot of rain, to hopefully get to the point where they'll be relocating their silt dam upstream. They're nearing the area where the actual sewer line is on top of the rock. And they'll be able to encapsulate that in earth, and we'll be able to protect that as well. Project's going along very well. They're hoping to actually have it wrapped up at the end of March, early April, with the actual construction. With that, and with that, there will be an extended section, with a gravel path roadway for two reasons. One, we can then access our sewer infrastructure for maintenance. We know that there's a section in there that is restricted, and we're getting that exposed now. So we can go in there with our jetter and get it cleaned out and flowing smoothly, as well as an extension of the Fairleigh Christian Trail. Again, the winter weather has hindered the Briarcliff Waterline Extension Project, and actually all construction projects. But we did make award to the DNR contractors for the Berkshire Place Sewer Extension. And I've been working with DGS. They are desperately awaiting documents to be prepared and come out of the Office of Attorney General to be able to have something for me to bring to the board, possibly accept that. With the structure, we've made some new hires within our staffing, and that's included in your package here. On Friday, I sent a memorandum to each board member regarding Operations Center space needs. After you all have a chance to delve into that and think about it, maybe next month, have a closed session, we can discuss that and further, or you reach out to me individually with your thoughts and all of that. I would appreciate moving that forward at a reasonable pace. Our developments, we continue working with all kinds of developers throughout the Madison Heights community. We have yet to receive our inspection from the December 4th EPA water system inspection. A couple things I'm focusing on with the General Assembly legislative. And one is, I didn't include it here, but it just came up. One of the things we're going to have to do is, if I understand the legislation correctly, is local governments and subsidiaries are going to have to go to a .gov domain name instead of a .com. So there'll be some expense with that when it's supposed to happen by, and how to make that happen.
Well, there's one on here, the collective bargaining bills. You know, I've been hearing a lot about that. I mean, that could potentially be devastating to local governments or really taxpayers or ratepayers.
Taxpayers and ratepayers in, I do know that FACO and VML have lobbied very hard against this. The Authorities Association has lobbied hard against it, as well as the water and wastewater memberships, individuals within. When I met with Senator Deeds, he understood the concerns, but he felt it was going to be going through in some form or another.
So that's basically unions.
Collective bargaining.
Yeah.
So, where currently the legislature comes in and feels that a community is not negotiating in good faith, there will be a board for them to go to, which will have authority. My understanding is the board is being established even before the legislation becomes in effect. It's not something very, that everyone has, in our industry has embraced. No, I want to say Chesterfield did an economic analysis on it, was up $40 million in that.
All right.
And that's all I have.
All right. Any questions? All right, well, we will go on to, I see no citizens here, so we'll go on to matters from members of the board. Mr. Gillespie?
I'm good.
Mr. Campbell?
I had some, I just can't remember what it is. Come back to me, please.
Yeah, I just recently, there's been a lot of, so I looked, there was, in Roanoke, there's a Google ads to build 3 data centers totaling 1 million square feet in Botetourt. And they took them to court to get the number of how many gallons of water per day would be required to cool the facility. And it came back 2 to 8 million gallons per day. And also, it would require enough energy to fully power 21,000 houses. This is, all over the internet. And I also noted that Virginia is one of the leaders in the whole United States for these centers. I think there's 665. I mean, that's more than almost anyone, California and Texas included. So, I mean, there's no way around it unless the technology changes, that there's going to be a water shortage sooner or later because of the amount of gallons per day that are required. So what do you do when you try to look for alternate sources of water? I mean, is there a commission that's set up to look at this over time through the state or through the federal government that looks at water usage and says, hey, another reservoir or such and such has to be built?
Well, there's two things going on in Virginia. One is the regional water planning effort that the planning district, CDC, is doing on behalf of Amherst County and the other number of communities. So that will be part of their work to forecast for that. We're going through our water withdrawal permit. We're allowed to withdraw safely, 3 million gallons a day, or hopefully that's what they still come down to. So there's those efforts as well. The General Assembly, there was some legislation requiring data centers to disclose the amount of water used. I think that bill failed.
Yeah, they had to go to court and it was released. They didn't want to release the information.
The current General Assembly session.
Okay, yeah,
There's some legislation on that.
okay.
So it's definitely a known issue, but I don't think that there's not been any resolutions to any of that.
Okay, just wondering, I mean, that's something, you never know. All right, that's all I have. Mr. Parrow?
No items, but I will disclose that the company for which I work is doing the water supply planning for the Central Virginia Planning District Commission.
No, sir.
All right, is that it? Mr. Campbell?
Mr. Castillo, the water lines down through Main Street, Mr. French, your predecessor, I think he told me they were put in like 1930. What's the life on these, I guess, casts?
Yes, sir. It's assumed to be a 50-year life. Assumed to be.
We're close to 100.
There are a number of communities where it's exceeded 100.
Is there, I know that, let's see, CDBG block grant was help with replacing some of that infrastructure. Is there anything that we can look at to maybe apply for one of those grants?
I know that the PDC was looking at the South Amherst, South Madison Heights area to move forward with some of that kind of expanded infrastructure as well as other needs. As there had not distant past been funds spent in the Old Town Madison, kind of the thinking is move to another area then come back again.
I know with the issue of the fire hydrants, I mean, if our water lines are not adequate, then of course we're not going to get the pressure needed at the fire hydrant. Thank you, Mr. Costello.
Anything else, board? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion on the floor by Mr. Campbell. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Y'all have fun. You too. Looks like you got your homework with you.
Yeah, I gotta go down the hall.
Water out of Carvin's Cove, which they have the capacity.
It's always fun.
Oh, yeah.
Going forward.
Yeah. Hopefully y'all have a good tax rate meeting.